Good morning. You there? Is it coming through? Okay, good. I have to wait for my glasses to unsteam here. I dreamed in a dream. I saw a city invincible to the attacks of the whole of the rest of the earth. I dreamed that was the new city of friends. Nothing was greater there than the quality of robust love. It led the rest. It seemed every hour in the actions of the men. It was seen every hour in the actions of the men of that city, and in their looks and words. Walt Whitman. Wake up and dream, our Reverend Jeremiah exhorts us in the title of this morning's sermon. What are those waking dreams? Desires, aspirations, daydreams? These nouns all sound ephemeral, as if the dreams of our waking have little chance of being embodied. How do our waking dreams become real? The truth is, making dreams real requires mindful, persistent, often slow work. Whitman's 1860 poem expresses a vision we would still like to see become real 160 years later. Realizing dreams is not the work of the faint-hearted. Realizing dreams takes that robust love Whitman sees in his invincible city. How do we embody robust love and maintain the persistence to see our waking dreams become realized? How do we move toward being the new city of friends, both at our UUSM community and in the wider world? How will our other dreamers know us by our looks and words? Come, let us think about that and worship together.
Assalamu alaikum. Oh, beautiful. Good morning. So wonderful to be with you for this service, Wake Up and Dream. My name is the Reverend Jeremiah Kalendae, and I serve this beloved community as its developmental minister. Our entire worship team is delighted to be joining you in worship, and I want to give a special shout out to some of those who join us every Sunday morning but aren't here with us in the sanctuary every Sunday morning, and that is our fantastic youth and children's religious education leaders, including Beth Brownlee and Jackie Weber and Joanne Peters and others who are tending to our young people each Sunday morning. So I just want to give them a special thank you. Now, if this is your first time joining us, or if you are still new to our congregation, we bid you a special welcome and hope you'll take time to explore our beautiful new website and online news magazine to learn more about our church. You can also meet with folks at our visitors table in the courtyard following the service. We light our flaming chalice this morning with these words from one of my beloved namesakes, Malik El-Shabazz, Malcolm X. We need more light about each other. Light creates understanding. Understanding creates love. Love creates patience. And patience creates peace. May it be so.
our section leaders. And Rosephanie Powell, if you're wondering how her name is pronounced, if you see the order of service. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Community Church of Santa Monica. I'm Sue Bickford, your worship associate today. I start with a gentle reminder to silence our cell phones so that we may all be uninterrupted by them during this spiritual coming together. Wherever you are, here in the sanctuary or in our online sanctuary, from communities near or far, we're glad you're here. As we gather in this sanctuary and in our virtual spaces, we recognize that our homes and the homes of most of our members and friends are located near the sacred waters and upon the unceded lands of Indigenous people. This is the traditional home of the Tongva, Gabrieleño, the Keys, the Ventureño, the Fernandeño, and others, and we remember their presence among us, the painful histories of this land, and the ongoing struggle for equity, justice, and sovereignty. Whether you're new to our community or you've been here for some time, you can find many ways to learn about our community, become involved on our website, UUSM.org, as Jeremiah said. And if you're here in person, we have lots of stuff outside to check out on our tables, and you can actually talk to us, too, about the ways to be involved and learn more about our faith. As we continue to be mindful about gathering safely together, know that we're still holding many meetings and small group meetings online. And we offer programs to serve the needs of our congregation to be of service to the larger world, including broad religious exploration and our personal development for people of all ages. We also join with other social justice advocates to work for justice and harmony of our world. You'll see that today in where the generous congregation offering goes. Whatever your beliefs or faith traditions, we invite you to help us build a community where together, in our diversity, we may covenant in love and justice. May you find comfort, camaraderie, and inspiration here. And now for the announcements. In our work to help people wider than ourselves, we have help for earthquake survivors in Turkey, and hopefully it'll filter to Syria also. If you have brought extra winter clothing, gloves, hats, shoes for all ages and all sizes, first aid kits, baby food, blankets, you can drop them off at the table outside today, and your donations will be sent to survivors in Turkey via our local interfaith community. The Faith in Action table in the courtyard will take those happily. And Lunches for Bunches will be putting food together in the food together in the courtyard. And we have a small ad for if you're interested in joining the choir. We're always looking to roast bust that up too. We meet Thursdays at 7:30 here in the sanctuary. And you can join those beautiful voices that help us. Today at 12 p.m., last but not least, is the congregational meeting to vote on our proposed bylaws update. We need a quorum to have a vote, so please make sure that you come, and I hear back in the kitchen they've got pizza and cookies and things to entice you to stay. It's there. Please rise for the opening hymn, which is not the one that's listed. It'll actually be 1040, Hush. The words will be correct up here. And remain standing for our covenant and our hymn of praise.
Somebody's calling my name.
Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer, to dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humankind in fellowship. Thus do we covenant with each other. El amor es la enseñanza de esta iglesia. Buscar la verdad es su sacramento y el servicio es la oración. Vivir juntos en paz. Buscar en conocimiento en la libertad. Servir a la humanidad en comunión. Así es como convenimos unos a otros. If you have a donation for the Westside Food Bank, we ask you bring it forward to place it in our basket at this time. We've been partners in collecting food for the Westside Food Bank for many years. If you would like to donate food, please bring items they use in large quantities: pasta, pasta sauce, peanut butter, juice, granola bars, protein bars, breakfast cereal. We collect all of those every week. Now, if you're a young person, if you want to stay up here, I'm going to ask you some questions on the chancel after I get done talking here at the stuff. Just sit on the stairs for a second. Our service to the world can be embodied right here each Sunday. All people, young people and others, are encouraged to give. Well, now, it looks like we've received our donation this morning. So, Mia, I'm going to use the mic over there, but I didn't tell you that, so I need to grab one of those. Is it on? Yeah. Oh, there. Well, thanks for coming. I guess there's other people. If you want to come up, we can talk too. This would be lovely because come on over. It's okay. We used to do this a lot and have you come up and just have the story and stuff, but we seem to have gotten away from it during COVID. So today we're talking about dreams. But just saying dreams can be a bit confusing because there's not just one kind of dream. And I can think actually of two kinds of dreams. The first kind is that crazy kind that we might have while we're sleeping, and maybe we're singing with friends on an airplane that's swooping over the freezing Arctic and we're all wearing summer bathing suits. Have you ever had the same kind of crazy dream when you're sleeping? Yeah? Does anybody want to share one? Anybody want to share one? No? No? You just think about them? Oh, my husband has them all the time, and he wakes up and tells them to me right away. The other kind of dreams happens when we're awake. It's more like imagining. We imagine what we may be or do someday, like perhaps of climbing Mount Baldy or being a really good musician or running for governor or exploring the deep oceans. Do you have any waking dreams like that? Anybody want to share? Want to tell?
Being a singer on Broadway.
That's a good one. Well, you got some good role models you can talk to right here. Yeah. Well, we can't always make our sleep dreams come true, right? Because those are just too crazy. But we can try to make our waking imagination dreams come true. What do you think we'd have to do to make our waking dreams come true?
Work for it.
Yeah, you're right. You got that. So that working takes work and planning and maybe working with others so that our dreams can come true. Do you think making those dreams come true can happen really fast? No, neither do I. Sometimes, yes, but a lot of times it's take a bit of time and lots of small steps. Do you think the grown-ups here at church still have dreams that they can make come true? Yeah? Yeah? Yeah, I think they do too. How can you find out? Oh, perfect. Ask them. That's what I was going to say. Okay? Ask each other. Today we might be a good day to talk for children and adults to talk to each other and ask each other and say, what dreams do you have? How can we make them come true? And you know what happens when we share our dreams? We get to know each other a little better and we can work together. I think that's exactly what the Malcolm X's thing said this morning that you just read, right? I know one dream that came true for our grown-ups at this church. The cottage where you have your RE classes didn't always belong to us. For a lot of years, it was a dream for many people to have the cottage be part of our campus. And we talked about it a lot. And then when the chance came, we were ready to pounce on it because we'd done the work. And in one wild weekend, we bought that property and the cottage on it became part of our campus. It was really a wild weekend. Then there was a lot of work by other people to make it the wonderful building it is today. And so now the cottage can be a house of more dreams for you and for our grown-ups. And we're going to send you to RE today with Dayla. And so you can dream big in your RE classes. Off you go. We're going to sing you out.
Remain seated, and we're going to sing. It's hymn 413 in your hymnals. Go now in peace, go now in peace.
You may have noticed the beautiful new singing bowl that we have acquired to deepen our time for mindfulness, prayer, and meditation. This was a generous gift from our beloved church member, Gerald Saldo, and I'd like to thank him. I'd like to thank him for sharing some of his abundance with us and contributing to further enhance our Sunday morning time together. So on behalf of the entire community, and I think you heard the community, thank you, Gerald. Let us enter into our time for reflection and spiritual deepening by heightening our awareness to be more present to these moments. We allow conscious breathing to carry us each week into the spaciousness and the peacefulness of our inner beings. In each inhalation and each exhalation, we hear our oceanic breath, the sound of the waves rolling ashore and then receding into the vastness of the ocean. Here in each inhalation and each exhalation, your connection to our common origin. Are we not but waves rising up from the waters and then gently returning to the great ocean of being? In the sound of our conscious breathing, let us remember this connection to our bodies and our breath, to nature in all of her glory. I invite you to join me in the spirit of prayer and meditation. O ocean of oneness, in whom we live and move and have our being, spirit of breath and of life, hovering over the waters, hold us in serene awareness. Rejuvenate us with freshness of cool, clear waters. Renew us with the energy of the quiet and invigorating winds. Stir in us our wakefulness, our awareness of the dreams we've but half forgotten, and of those being born anew. Remind us of our high callings, the summons of love, our own creativity. From the ocean of being, may our dreams arise like the rolling waves and be made real. Let us offer whatever prayers may be on our hearts as we hold silence together. I will ring our beautiful new singing bowl to begin and end our time for silent meditation. We don't have to wait a single moment to wake up and dream. We can decide right now to open our minds and our hearts to transcendental possibilities that could transform our lives, our community, and our world. With initiative and imagination, any one of us can decide to release the ways that we've been defined by our experiences and our pasts, and to begin to chart a course into a new future. There's a joy and a spaciousness in this realization that every moment offers itself to us as a doorway into another possible reality. Now, we are a liberal religious tradition because we are guided by a love that opens our beings to possibilities as we discern the future that we are called to co-create together. We are a part of the prophetic tradition that began thousands of years ago when the Hebrew prophets were called out from their communities to help guide them towards a better future. They often had to interrupt the status quo and help their communities to navigate to a new path that would avoid the hardships, oppressions, and destruction that the prophets foresaw. The Hebrew and Christian prophetic traditions teach that one day the old world and its ways will pass away and a new earth will come into being. It's written in the book of Joel and the book of Acts that when that time arrives, young people will begin to prophesy and old people will begin to dream dreams. Foreseeing a renewed future will then become the calling of all people. In our tradition, we have long aligned ourselves with this prophetic teaching that all people, not just the prophets of old, are called to help renew our world. Our spiritual ancestors, they fulfilled their prophetic role whenever they dreamed of a world of greater justice, equity, and love, and then began to live into that world, even if no one else was. They summoned others to begin to do the same. They had to go to the mountaintop, like Dr. King and Audre Lorde and Harvey Milk, to dream of the destination to which they were summoned before they could invite others and take the first steps of that journey. For if dreams die, life is a broken winged bird that cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams, for when dreams go, life is a barren field frozen with snow, warned Langston Hughes. How easy it is for us to allow our dreams to die and to feel as though our lives have become that frozen field. Is that not what happens when we stop dreaming? When we no longer give ourselves the permission to fly towards the horizons of our potential and our high hopes? Our lives kind of close in on us and we get stuck in the way things are. We lose sight of how they might be and what would be required of us to achieve something new. I often think of conservative ideologies and fundamentalistic religions as the dispositions that cause dreams to die. They're always reaching back into the past for the comfort of what's predictable and familiar. They imagine a golden age that never really existed and then try to drag people back into a kind of stasis that's an obstacle to progress. Where I'm afraid they leave hearts and minds is to that barren field that's frozen with snow. Liberal religion, on the other hand, at its best, offers the mirror of Langston Hughes' prophetic words. For if dreams are born, life is a bird that can fly. Hold fast to dreams, for when dreams are kept alive, life is a verdant field of fragrant blossoms. So do you still dream? Does love still hold your being open to the possibilities of transcendence and transformation? Do you help to keep alive great visions of possibility for your family, your loved ones, your community, and our world? Is it time for us all to once again wake up and dream? We have to constantly ask ourselves, who is it that I want to be? Who is it that I am becoming? Am I becoming the version of myself that will bring me into alignment with my purpose and my greatest fulfillment and happiness? Maya Angelou, a woman who survived the worst of traumas and excelled to heights that inspire us all, had counseled, a person is a product of their dreams. So make sure to dream great dreams, and then try to live them. I remember a time in my life when I began to ask myself such questions and to wake up to some of my dreams. My high school church youth group had the extraordinary occasion one Sunday to get to meet our congregation's new interim minister, the Reverend Roy D. Phillips of blessed memory. We were all excited that morning because we didn't usually get to meet the minister because he was in the sanctuary with the adults while we were in our Sunday school classes. We were especially excited that morning because he was going to teach us about the Transcendentalist Club, a radical philosophical movement that had profoundly influenced our liberal tradition. We listened to riveting tales about Margaret Fuller and Theodore Parker and Henry David Thoreau and others. We learned how they thought Unitarianism had become too conservative and too Christian, and how they practiced a natural mysticism and studied the world's religions, all while fighting against slavery and organizing for women's rights and the humanitarian transformation of society. I began to dream then, that morning, what it would be like to try to do what they did in their time in our contemporary world. I began to imagine what it would be like to follow in the footsteps of this remarkable minister who was teaching us this class by dedicating my life to the cause of liberal religion and its renewal. I wasn't ready to pursue my call to ministry at that time. But this was one of my mountaintop moments when I began to imagine what it would be like to live into extraordinary dreams. So who is it that you want to be? Who do you still want to become? Our aspirations don't necessarily have to translate into professional callings. It may be any number of things that give shape and color to your dreams. I read a book the other month about one of the members of our community who had had a successful career as the head of a nursery school and then as a psychotherapist. And then she dreamed of becoming an artist and opening her own studio. And that dream invoked important new dimensions into her life. Sometimes we dream of making a more serious commitment to our health and our well-being, or cultivating a more constant state of peace of mind. We may dream of new relationships, new adventures, or showing up in the world in a way that's different from how we've always thought we had to show up in the world. Sometimes we follow what breaks our hearts, and that leads us to service and caregiving and justice-making that helps to bend the arc of history towards justice. Even in old age, when we may feel that we've dreamed all of our dreams, we can still give ourselves permission to dream anew. I think of the powerful advice of the great philosopher and civil rights leader Howard Thurman, who had admonished, "Don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive, and then go and do that, because what the world needs is people who have come alive. Imagine if each of us followed such sound advice on not just one occasion or in one life stage, but again and again and again in pursuit of our dreams. Would we then not have life and have it abundantly, as stated in the scriptures of old? Now, dreaming together, that's another doorway to unlock our collective potential and create what none of us can alone create. We are soon to embark upon a grassroots developmental ministry objective of renewing our congregation's vision, which is where we believe we're going on this journey together, and renewing our congregation's mission statement, which is what we're going to do to realize that vision. This is an exciting opportunity that's going to invite all of us to imagine and dream together as a congregation. It will help us to all get on the same page about what we hope our church and the world will one day be like. And it will help us to name what we're willing to commit to get us there. We'll have to embrace the capacities of an interdependent creative prophethood as we once again discern the future that can be but is never guaranteed without our commitments to our common dream. You'll be asked to think big, to explore what's possible, and maybe even what's just out beyond the possible, to articulate a compelling vision and mission to guide us into the future. I think the soil in which we find ourselves is rich with potential after having weathered and learned so much in recent years as we aspire to write the next chapter of our Unitarian Universalist tradition. When I contemplate how our community might evolve in the years ahead as we emerge from the pandemic and work to complete our developmental ministry tasks and prepare ourselves for settled ministry, I am inspired and motivated by all of our budding potential. What I witness us bringing into being right now is a community with an abundance of love, compassion, creativity, wisdom, commitment, and generosity that is learning to leverage all of our resources in strategic ways to accomplish amazing things. We are a community that is actively healing and learning from the trauma of the pandemic and the woundedness and pain experienced when our congregation fractured years ago. We are learning how to live into our beautiful covenant of right relations, to be better allies to each other as we proceed through this journey of life. We're holding space for a beloved community that is multiracial, multi-ethnic, multi-religious, multi-gendered, the emergence of a community of radical inclusion. We're vaccinating ourselves with the antidotes to the toxin of white supremacy culture by leading with gratitude instead of perfectionism and criticism, cultivating spaciousness before the pressures of urgency and anxiety, and practicing both and thinking instead of falling into old patterns of polarization and either-or thinking. We're promoting our interdependence and mutuality instead of worshiping at the altar of individualism. We're learning and growing, and new visions and new dreams are already coming into being. Imagine what our beloved church home might be like in a few years if we continue to be bold in our imaginings. What if one day in the future, our congregation is a model of a diverse, beloved community that demonstrates to our larger society how people from different racial, ethnic, educational, class, gender, abilities, and sexual orientation, backgrounds, and identities come together in an interdependent relationship of love, mutual respect, and care that realizes new justice within the community and the broader world. Imagine if the interfaith relationships that we're nurturing today will one day allow this to be a sanctuary for the wider community to come together in enriching and transformative ways. Imagine if our programs and services grow such that on any given day, there are yoga classes for those living with mobility issues, Tai Chi classes for our elders, alongside our vibrant meditation circles and small group ministries. Imagine young people once again gathering here to discern the next great liberal renaissance of society. Whatever we dream together, we can achieve together. So hold fast to your dreams, that we might rise and soar into tomorrow's bright morning. May it be so. Amen, and blessed be.
We can dream big or we can dream small. Here at UUSM, we try to dream bigger than ourselves. We dedicate half our weekly offering to support the life of our church, and the other half goes to organizations doing work in the world that may be too big for us to take on alone. Today, 50% of our offering goes to the Santa Monica Area Interfaith Council. The mission and big dream of the Santa Monica Area Interfaith Council is to create a collaborative environment among peoples of all faiths in this region through education, community activities, and interfaith dialogue that will foster peace and justice for everyone, regardless of race, gender, sexual orientation, nationality, religious affiliation or belief, or other communities, and result in a better and safer life for all. Activities sponsored by the Interfaith Council include an annual Interfaith MLK Breakfast, the annual Interfaith Holocaust Remembrance Day, and protests and rallies such as the latest Reproductive Justice is Life rally to Conquer the Right to Life rally on the Santa Monica Pier. Please see our slide above or your order of service for the many ways to give electronically. Or feel free to share cash and checks today to be collected by our ushers or dropped off in office on non-Sundays. Thank you so much for everything that you give to our community, monetarily, but especially of yourselves and of your dreams. This morning's offering will now be gratefully received.
rise in body or in spirit and join us in singing our closing hymn, which is 1024. We are going to sing and dance and do again as we go through this hymn.
May you go in peace, and may you hold fast to that which is good, returning to no person evil for evil, but strengthening the faint of heart, supporting the weak, helping the afflicted, honoring all beings. May you go forth into this day and be blessed, and may you be a blessing. Amen.
Amen.